Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Footy Fantasy podcast. It's the international break. Some people are suffering withdrawal symptoms, but some of us are coping with it, thankfully. But yeah, we're back here during this time where we're giving you a footy fix. Basically, we hope you're going to have a great time with us today. We have some very interesting topics lined up. And we just do a bit of admin before we plug ahead. I'm going to put on the screen there our social media handles. That's YouTube at Footy Fantasy. Twitter is at Footy AD Fantasy. Instagram at Fantasy Footy. And we also have our website there, footyfantasy.com. Yeah, so please give us a like, give us a subscribe, share, help us grow. You know, we bring different perspectives to football issues. And today will be another fantastic one. We're going to talk about the EPL team of the season so far, the best 11. We're going to talk about Eden Hazard. The Hazardous one. We're going to talk about his legacy. And we have our Man United fan here who is going to give us his opinion about the Glazers and Ratcliffe deal. And that's I'm going to start by introducing Prince AY. He's our very vocal Arsenal fan. More vocal than usual because Arsenal are on fire this season, like last season. So Prince AY, welcome. Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll behave myself today.
If you're at the top, you can be as vocal as possible. That's the thing. Nobody can talk any nonsense to you. So go for it. And we have our honorable international correspondent. That's our Itata.
Yes,
our
sir.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Very important day for me, and I think I would even stretch to say important day for all Africans. In 1987, Captain Thomas Sankara was assassinated today, and we all know what it stood for. Yeah. And today happens to be Fela Kuti's birthday. So that's a very influential guy. And these two men happen to be very good friends. That is what people also don't know. Sankara and Fela were very good friends. And they're forever tied in human history and the course of African history. Sankara passed away on Fela's birthday in 1987. So to honor the two giants of African giants, we know, and exceptional men in the course of human history. So like Ola has said, it's a football channel, but we talk about everything. So we have to start by respecting these two exceptional ancestors.
Absolutely. And thanks for bringing that up because like Ayo says there in the comments, the Pan-African legends. It's not referring to people who have not contributed to the continent of Africa, but these are actually people, like you said, who have made indelible marks. Yeah. And there's one thing sometimes I watch. This is going to tie to football and fella.
Yeah.
And what they say, how it influence Afrobeats. Sometimes I'm watching the training sessions for Liverpool, and I'm sure this even for your own clubs too.
Yeah,
you will see Afrobeat music is banging in the background all the time. All the time. Yeah. I was watching Liverpool's training session recently, and in the complex, it was just Afrobeats. No foreign music. It was just our music that was banging in the background. I was like, man, look how far we've come. How far we've come. You know, that's the music of choice for all these footballers now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we'll just dive into it. We're like 8 games into the season, so that's like maybe 1/5 of the way through the season. And of course, the season is starting to take shape. Just before the international break, Arsenal got a significant victory over City. Finally broke that course, and Arteta showed flexed his muscles and said, "I'm not the student anymore, man. I'm here to stay. You cannot be flogging me every time, you know."
Every time, yeah.
So Arsenal joint top with Spurs, and then we have City in 3rd place and Liverpool in 4th place. But we're not going to just focus our top 11. I'm sure our top best 11 players are not just from the top 4 teams. So I'll go with Prince AY first. Give us your. We'll do it this way. We won't take all your 11 for us. We'll do the goalkeeper and defense. let's just go. Each of us will do goalkeeper and defense and discuss that. So please, goalkeeper and your four defenders.
For me, for goalie, I already written Edison down before, but right now I'm having a second thought between Edison and Sam Johnston from Crystal Palace.
Good shout.
You know, I'm like looking at them like maybe I should actually even switch it for now to Sam Johnson just because City had lost the last two games, and there's really not a lot, there's really not a lot of statistics to back, why this. But just for the, if we're looking at just at the 8 games in isolation, I think maybe I'll just go for Sam Johnson. It just edges Edison just because City lost their last 2 games, not because of any other thing. Edison has been good, but I think I'll just stick with. I'll switch it to Sam Johnson for now.
Okay, and your 4 defenders, right back, center
my
backs.
4 defenders, I'll just go quickly. I'll do William Saliba, Christian Romero, Kieran Trippier, and Zinchenko.
Interesting. I can see the Arsenal influence already.
I mean, I don't think there's any left back that plays that inverted role as much as Zinchenko does. If we're looking at like based on tactics, I think it's just the only one in the league that does it really, really well. But if we're saying, or we just want to go for a pure left back, then the choices are not a lot, right? You can go for either Trent or what's this guy's name in sports, Duji.
That's who I have.
Yeah, so based on how I want to play football, everything's inverted now. Inverted coach,
inverted fans.
Honestly, football has gone mad. And it's interesting actually. Yeah. So well, thank you, Prince AY. August Spliff, Hawaii Tata, goalkeeper and defenders, please.
Well, my goalkeeper, and it's apart from just being this season, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. So I go with Alisson Becker as my number one.
Okay.
Right back is Trippier. My left back is Estupinian. And then, of course, Saliba. But now who pairs Saliba? It was difficult for me because we have the guy from Newcastle, the tall guy that plays in defense.
Botman? Or the other one?
The other
one. Botman or Dan Burn. Oh no, Dan Burn is not center back. He's not a center back for them anyway. He's tall, but he's not a center back. He's left back.
Yeah, but you know what? I will put Gabriel and Saliba just because as a unit, they're very solid. Yeah. So that would be my defense. Trippier, Saliba, Gabriel, and Estupinian.
All right. Okay. Not bad. In our comments is saying he's going for Alisson, Udogie.
Yeah, Udogie is
Saliba.
Huge shot.
And let's see, Mickey van der Bern. Okay, so I think Ayo is going 3 at the back. I think that's a 3 at the back formation. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. But basically, I had Alisson at the beginning of my sheet. I had Alisson, I crossed him out. Number one, not because I don't want to be accused of bias, because he's a Liverpool goalkeeper, but also I went to look at the stats. And he has been very good this season, but surprisingly, the goalkeeper with the highest save percentage is somebody nobody has mentioned, Vicario from Spurs. He has like 83% save percentage this season.
It's
crazy. Good. Yeah. And because sorry, Prince, go ahead.
To really interject there, but that's the irony of it, right? If you're having that higher save percentage, it means you're facing a lot of shots, right? And
not really, because you're calculating it based on how many saves you've made from the shots you faced. So it doesn't mean you have made so like Vicario has not made the highest number of saves, but he has the highest saves. Highest number of saves is I think Sam Johnston. So that's why your shout about Sam Johnston is actually good. But Sam Johnston has actually made a lot of saves, but his save percentage, because save percentage is not the same as number of saves. You can face 10 shots and save 8 out of those 10 shots. That means you have saved 80% of your shots. But somebody faced 20 shots and saved maybe 15. That person has a lower save percentage. So that's why Sam Johnson actually is very. I actually wanted to put Sam Johnston before too, because I was like, that guy has really done very well. So like, that was a good shout to have Sam Johnston there. But then I surprisingly, because this guy is stepping in for what's his name, Loris, and to show you how good he has stepped in. No, he has not really made any massive errors. Loris that used to drop shots almost every few games, is letting one stupid go in. This guy has come in and done a great job for Spurs. So that's why I just put him there. Yeah, that's why I put him there. Right back for me is Matty Cash, though he has not really been playing right back all the games, but he has been very good for Villa. Sometimes he plays for the forward. He contributes a lot to the attacking play. Saliba for sure. Saliba is probably going to be in the team of the season. Hopefully, if he doesn't get injured, it's a shoe-in for team of the season, not just even team of the first 8 games. So Saliba for sure. I went to Ruben Diaz for City because City have considered only 6 goals this season, and he's the only centre back that has played almost all their games. So that means he must be doing something right, of course, because City, they don't concede many goals, maybe because they have a lot of possession anyway. And I went left back with Udogie. Udogie is another player Spurs have brought in this season. The guy on the left wing, sometimes he doesn't play left back all the time. He's very attacking, but I just think, yeah. So for me, it's Vicario, Matty Cash, Saliba, Diaz, and Udogie for the defense.
But Big Gabi has also considered only 6 goals too. So
who? Sorry?
Big Gabi, the Magalesh.
Big Gabi.
Gabriel Magalesh.
Gabriel Magalesh. He has also considered 6 goals. So I'm not understanding why you are putting in my head of putting Ruben Diaz. I'm just trying to challenge your stuff.
No, the thing is, I put Saliba, so I'm not going to put Saliba and Gabriel together. That's too much. Arsenal, come on, you want to take everything, please. That's why I put Saliba, and I just think Saliba is the better one out of the 2 defenders.
Yeah,
I think last season I was arguing it here last season. I said you guys really missed them. I know people will say, oh, well, you should have a squad to cope, but there are some players you cannot replace their quality. And when Saliba got injured, I think it told on Arsenal. So I rate him so highly. I rate him.
I rate him.
Yeah, I rate him so highly. So Ayo says he's right back. He forgot his right back, so he's put Trippier. Fair enough. Trippier has come into the season. I think it started a bit slowly, but he's into the season now. He's getting assists and he's doing well. So that's a good shout too. Okay, let's go to midfield. So what's your formation, Prince AY? Are you going a 4-3-3 or are you going with 3 midfielders?
When I was looking at players to pick, there were just way too many. So I was like, you know what?
I know.
There were way too many. I see. Honestly, I did not realize how hard it is to pick the best level out of the plethora of players, right? So I'm just going with 4-1-4-1.
Okay.
So that means I only have one DM in my formation, and that's just Declan Rice. I was going to go with Rodri, which is undisputed the best DM in the league, but he's missed 3 games. So that means that the amount of games I'm choosing from does not equate to every other player, right? So I was going to choose what's this guy's name, to Casemiro as well. But when I stack up the stats with Declan Rice, it just slightly edged out. Like, you know what, this guy's just been consistent since Arsenal bought him. No one has even mentioned the price tag since first game. That's to show you how, when someone's not talking about the price tag anymore, it's like looking as if we got him for cheap. I'm like, you know what, it's just I'm just gonna throw in Declan Rice there for my PM.
Okay, but do you have any other midfielders?
For my midfielders, I have Saka, Maddison, Son, and Salah, basically for my other 4. So Salah on the right. Behind the striker, Saka on the right, Son on the left, and then Maddison as my number 10.
That sounds fair. All right. Itata, how's your structure?
My formation. My formation is 4-3-3, and the 3 central midfielders for me. And of course, I'm not a stats guy like Prince Ewa. So, so my 3 midfielders are Rodri, Odegaard, and James Ward-Prowse.
Good shout. So So you went to Rodri.
Yeah, I went Rodri.
You went Rodri, okay.
I mean, Rodri could play one game; he will still be my DM.
Well, I tend to agree with Prince AY, to be honest. I feel if you have missed 3 games, I won't put you in my best team so far. That's almost half of the number of games. 8 games this season, you have missed 3.
But it's not like if he wasn't given a red card, he wouldn't play the other 3 games. That's how I was looking at it.
But he got the red card. But he got
you know what? Well, like I said, it wasn't based off of stats. So my team is literally based off of talent. So you are a goalkeeper for this season. I'm not looking at if you played first half of this game or second. No. I'm just looking at the skill set, what you were born to do as a footballer. So this is just based off of the talent. You know, unfortunately, I didn't take all those things into consideration.
Yeah, outside curriculum. The curriculum is team of the season so far. Not the curriculum. This one is a Martin also.
Okay, so the problem is really Rodri. The other midfielders are good, right?
I mean, personally for me, though, I would not even put Odegaard there, even as an Arsenal fan. Not because of anything, but I just feel like it hasn't actually reach that height that it was able to last. This of the fact that we now play a different system. Our system is now much more controlled, much more matured. So that way it's not like free flowing as it was last season. Because even last night I was watching some highlights. I started with the My one, of course, for last season. You know, I could see how it was like literally dragging the players. Or if you watch the Southampton game where we were 2 goals down or 3 goals down or something, he also literally dragged everybody, right? But the way he's playing right now is more like a cultured footballer, right? So it's not everything that he's doing now is much more intentional. And then if you're not looking closely, it's not as fluid. If you're looking closely, you see that it's not as fluid as it was last season when everybody was going 100 miles per hour, right? So I think other players have hit the ground running. Like with James Ward-Prowse, that's a good shout too. Madison too is flying, like. For 40 million, that guy is flying for Spurs. My only issue with that is if he gets injured, what's going to happen to Spurs? Because that is the only one that they have, right? So,
creatively, Prince, why we're thinking the same thing about Odegaard, because I show my workings. I had Odegaard there before, and I crossed him out. I was thinking the way you're thinking, so I was like, straight away, I was thinking, has he really had that impact that he had last season? So that's why I crossed him out, because I was going to put him there. But the way you explained it is what I was thinking to that. He has been good, but it's not like he's dragging Arsenal the way he was dragging them from. Arsenal is more rounded as a team now. Arsenal, they are more rounded. So it's not like they don't need him. They still need him, but I just don't think, it will be the team of the season so far. It might be at the end of the season.
Can I make adjustments? Can I make adjustments?
Yeah, go for it.
You say why I don't laugh.
It's allowed.
I can make adjustments.
You can use Tipex and eraser.
Yeah. I'll make adjustments. So I will pick. You know me, I don't like Arsenal, but give credit where it's due. I'll pick Declan Rice. I'll pick Declan Rice, and in place of Odegaard, I'll pick the Liverpool guy. His name I can't mention. I'm African.
I was
yeah. So those are the 2. Yeah.
Okay. Good
so
job.
That's
I will argue with you about Soboslai.
Yeah. Him and Ward-Prowse.
If there's anything FIFA will teach you, is how to pronounce names.
Yeah. So that's my 3 in midfield then. Declan Rice, Ward-Prowse, and Szoboszlai. Yeah.
Soboslai.
Yeah.
Well, for me, my 3 midfielders are Declan Rice. Prince AY, you nailed it. You know, at the beginning of the season, when people are like 100 million, it's too much. I always say it's not our money. Why are people so fixated on how much a club pays for their player? It's not your money. Let them pay what they want to pay. But the fact that he has been so good, people don't even mention that 100 million again. They don't even mention the 100 million again. That shows you how good he is. So that's why I have Declan Rice there. And I have Madison, and I have James Ward-Prowse as my Madison, 3 midfielders. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse, he has hit the ground running. Yeah, Madison has been fantastic for Spurs. Yeah, he has been fantastic for Spurs. So because Prince, you have done 4-1-4-1. So that means basically the only thing we need from you is your center forward. Who is your center
I mean,
forward?
now big success is Haaland. my center forward it's Haaland. I mean, there are the honorable shout like Oli Watkins and what's this guy's name? Because I had them written down, the Oli Watkins and the rest of them. But I mean, how can you not just pick Haaland? I know that he had a stinker of a game against Arsenal, but I mean, it's Haaland. Haaland is Mr. One Chance, One Goal, and yes, even though he hasn't been as firing as he was since like last season, he scored 8 goals already, I think 8 or 7 goals already. So even when it looks like he's not at his peak, he's still doing well, right? So I mean, for me, it's just I just went for Haaland. This is another week, and Ola has not still paid his NEPA bill. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this.
The data.
Yes. Ola, are you there? I think you might be through. Okay, you're back. Can you hear me?
It needs to.
Don't mind me. I'm going to move to the other room where.
Oh, let's say the truth. You have not paid the NEPA bill since last time. The last time you came. Because every time you want to stream, they'll be like, he's streaming now. Let us.
You know what? I think Ola is the only one that has. You remember our 80s TV that used to have external antenna? Ola's router has external pole. Somebody is turning it outside.
That room.
If you go to
places
like Abeokuta or Ibadan, you see that they use the fluorescent and this thing to support to boost the signal.
All right, so give us your 3 forwards, please.
Okay, my 3 forwards are Saka, Arsenal Saka, Gordon from Newcastle, and Oli Watkins. That's my 3 forwards.
Oh, good shout. Good shout. So Saka, Watkins, and who? Sorry.
Gordon from Newcastle.
Oh, Anthony Gordon. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that's a controversial one.
Yeah.
What made you put Anthony Gordon?
I just, again, it's not stats driven. I just think I like his style, and I like that he's very persistent. He's a troublemaker, man. He's just he's a bag of problems, man. He's a bag of problems. And you look at him, you underrate him, but he's going to come at you. So that was just, again, it's just based off of what I've seen. I haven't looked at the stats. I just think he's incredible. In my opinion, right. It's one man's food is another man's poison.
Yeah, he has stepped up. Well, I think he was player of the tournament when England won the under-21. So his level has gone up, but I don't like him anyway. So personally, I won't put him in my team. I don't think he dives a lot. He's a troublemaker, like you said. He causes trouble everywhere. Not just with his quality, with his personality too. he's a troublemaker, man. But yeah, okay. For me, my front 3, I'm putting Salah, right wing, right forward. Left, I'll put Son, even though Son has not played there all the time. Yeah. And up front, I'm putting Watkins. I think Watkins has moved up a level, and not just the goals, he's involved in every attacking phase for Villa. And I think that's, so far, I'll put him ahead of Haaland, even though Haaland has more goals, but Haaland has just done his thing, just banging the goals. But I think Watkins, as a forward, has been more influential for his own team this season. So it'll be Salah, Son, and Watkins. So that's our best 11 so far. We can quickly move on to the next topic. And it's a pity we don't have any Chelsea fans come and fight his corner here, but we're going to talk about Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard, who has retired at the age of, I think, 32. Eden Hazard, the question there is, Are we putting him in the top 5 or top? Or does he make the top 5 of the EPL wingers? And was his legacy tainted by the Madrid move? Itata, please go ahead. What's your view?
First of all, Hazard is an exceptional talent, and it really broke my heart when I saw the news. For a player, I saw him play for Lille Metropole, and I'm telling you, he is a problem. He is a problem, and he was so good. He came to Chelsea, and we all saw it. Played Chelsea, I think 2012 to about 2019. And then in that spell, he did his thing. He did his thing. Now, when you're talking about top 5 in the EPL, I would even argue for Chelsea, I think he played, it almost was like he played like a playmaker when he understood, the impact of his powers. He played sort of like centrally and would drift to the left. So I wouldn't really completely call Hazard a winger. I think he was more of a playmaker than a winger in the EPL. But it's unfortunate. It just goes to show what injuries can do to you. Now for the legacy, people are talking about legacy. You could be fortunate to play for a powerful nation, which adds to your legacy.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us expected Belgium to win any international tournament, even though they had gifted players. But if you have to pick top 3 to win the European Cup or the World Cup, I don't think any of us would mention Belgium. In reality, we wouldn't really mention Belgium. He was pretty much destined like the second coming of Enzo Schifo. Did he live up to it? I actually think he did. But just like Ronaldo Lima of Brazil, injuries, I keep telling people, if Ronaldo of Brazil wasn't as injured, if he was as durable as Ronaldo, he will not be in any conversation. He will stand alone. He still stands alone, in my opinion. But unfortunately for Hazard, he does not have the national team legacy to have pushed him. Because, for instance, if Hazard was a Brazilian, you can chip in a couple of Copa Americas and a World Cup. Or if he was from Argentina, a World Cup and some Copa Americas. And Italy, we know the traditional giants. Or if he was German. But his entire career depended on club. And for what he did for the clubs he played for, he did well. But the longevity, because of the injuries, did not last. Now, going to Madrid, did I expect him to pull trees at Madrid? Not really. Did I expect him to surpass, say, Cristiano Ronaldo or Kaká or like Figo or R9? No. He was signed to be a Galactico, but I've never really thought of Hazard as a Galactico in his career. But I think he did what he needed to do. I think if you add everything up for club, I think he fulfilled his potential for club. And then for national team, you just have to be fortunate to fall into the superpower leagues to be relevant. So I think overall, Hazard's career is not a disappointment. I think he's one of the top talents, but I wouldn't really put him in the top 5 we've seen in the EPL.
You won't put him in the top 5 after all.
Top 5 wingers, top 5 playmakers. I don't think he's in the top 5 talent, because you have to understand Dennis Beckham is there, Cantona, Thierry Henry, Aguero, and I've already exhausted the list.
You use those ones as playmakers.
He's not greater than Zola when you're putting legacy side by side at Chelsea. So
that's fair.
I think he's done what he needed to do, but I wouldn't put him in like that premium group.
Okay.
In my opinion, yeah.
I'm bringing in one of our Hazard commentators who definitely shed more light on all of this Hazard talk. Let's welcome Dayo onto the stream. Welcome, Dayo.
our man shaft in the building.
Yeah, it's nice for Germany to win at last, even if it's the almighty USA. Yeah,
it's a step in the right direction.
yeah, and Nagelsmann is back coaching.
True.
Yeah.
Temporarily, I think short-term contract is it? Yeah.
Yeah. It should be at a football club. Well,
Yeah, it should be. He's
yeah.
too young to be taking on that task. Anyway, we have
Yeah.
you on for our Hazard talk because we know you have strong views about Eden Hazard. So fire away. The floor is yours, please.
Okay. Where is many people that rate Eden Hazard rate him as a good dribbler. Things you will mention for people like Okocha.
Yeah, I
As a,
knew it. He was going to talk Okocha.
Yeah, he doesn't like JJ for some reason.
I don't know. So it depends on what you watch football for.
Yeah.
Some watch it for entertainment, like, oh, I like people that can dribble, and some see it as laser focused business. You have to do it. I see some things that kind of triggered me online. People trying to compare Hazard to Salah. That is an aberration. You can't be doing that. Salah is the epitome of effectiveness on the field. Go and kill someone. He does it all day. He doesn't have time for all this rigmarole, do 360 somersault. That has nothing to do with football. That is circus. That is trampoline business. That is not football. Yeah, you have to be football. Okay, maybe football started as entertainment, but it has now gotten to a point where, okay, people are watching what you eat, how many hours you sleep, the friends you make, the kind of spouse you have, and you still think it's entertainment. It's no longer entertainment. You can't be having $100 billion. It's now science, and you have to, and that's where Hazard dropped the ball for his career. He probably, he doesn't have that drive. And he mentioned it himself that if you're looking at me to do what Ronaldo and Messi did, we know that these people are not human. But, if you're looking at me to do what they did, I'm just here to enjoy myself and eat some burgers, get fat in the beginning of the season. He said it himself.
He didn't say that.
He said it himself. He says, I'm someone that likes my food. I come to the season fat and I work out and I get slim during the season. I walk myself into it. Mikel Obi said it, that this is the laziest trainer he has ever seen in football.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mikel Obi said that, Hazard is the laziest. And Hazard too said, oh, I don't care. When I'm off season, I'm off season. I enjoy myself. I eat anything. I do whatever I like. That is not a modern day footballer. That is the footballer in the day of Mario Basler that will smoke cigarette, that will drink beer, and they'll come and play. Well, maybe some people can do it now, but it's increasingly harder to live that kind of lifestyle and do it.
And do
Ronaldo, big ups to that man. I don't like him, CR7, but that guy,
he is laser focused.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from. You can't take that from him. So Hazard, what's his legacy? I don't top 5 in the EPL. Absolutely no, never. Thierry Henry, Alan Shearer, Mohamed Salah. That guy,
Zola,
Salah, Mohamed Salah, put his name in bold. That guy scoring 20 goals plus every season, plus highest goals. So what does Hazard give you? Let me tell you the history of Hazard's career in Chelsea. He joined Chelsea because Chelsea won the Champions League 2012. He sent a tweet that I'm joining the Champions League winner. Okay, he left. He spent 7 years in Chelsea. They made one semi-final against Atletico Madrid. They lost that game. Mourinho put the blame on Hazard. They never made any other thing. The sum total of Hazard's goal in the Champions League was 9 Champions League goals. 5 of them were non-penalties. Other 4 were penalties.
Wow.
Some players scored 4 goals in the game. That's all Hazard did in his entire career. He left Chelsea. They won the Champions League again. He got to Real Madrid. He wanted to all those. Real Madrid is an interesting football club. They are the pinnacle of it. They will accept you and they will chew you and they will spit you out immediately. And that was what they did. Hazard does not have the star attraction to be someone. Hazard what Hazard was doing at Chelsea. Kante, the donkey, would do the work, pass to Hazard. Hazard would try streaks. He would lose the ball. Kante will hustle again, collect it, hand over to Hazard again. Hazard will try. Maybe in 7 attempts, 2 will work. Is it Cruz? Look at Real Madrid. All of them national team captain. Sergio Ramos, Marcelo, Cruz, Modric. So Modric will be doing donkey work for you, Hazard, to go and try your skills. Not in this place. So the only person they can do that for will be if they're Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. Hazard is not on that level. And, it didn't work out for him there. The only time they won the Champions League was when they stuck his ass to the bench. Those are the facts. And you say Belgium is not. National teams, what wins the national team is not the name of the national team itself, but the quality of individuals there. Belgium, I believe they have enough individuals to have done something during their time of Hazard. If Hazard pulled his weight, they had De Bruyne, who is the best midfielder of his, arguably the best midfielder of the generation. We have Lukaku, who is not so bad. They have a lot of decent players. Courtois, probably the best goalkeeper or top 3 goalkeeper of his generation. Their company, they had a lot of decent players. They are better players than other teams in Europe, and they just couldn't do it. So you won't say as that you might be a Brazilian and be the Brazilian in the generation of Joe, Fred, Bernard, and all those fake Brazilians. The name Brazil will not take you to that place. Hazard did well. He achieved what he wasn't a very driven person, which is perfectly okay. Like, you can be like, not everybody has to be that assassin mentality. Like,
that's what I was going
for. Like Ronaldinho.
Like Ronaldinho flamed out by 30.
Yeah.
He was like, man, I would rather drink beer. Like, some people are just like that. They just want to enjoy themselves. And some people, but the thing is, the way football has gone nowadays, you are having less and less accommodation for people like that are not so serious with the game. Look at Salah. Salah and Hazard are the same age, literally like 1 year different. Look at Salah's body style. I'm a Salah stan anyway. Like, look at his body. Look at how fit that guy is.
It's back.
He's like he drew it himself. And you were like, okay, Salah is gone, Mane is gone. The guy still keeps delivering, and that's what it takes. Footballers, efficiency. Just kill them on the field.
So I take your point. I'll let Prince AY come in. I have just one clip I saw. This is why maybe I tend towards what Dio is saying, because Hazard, we remember him for those dribble runs. But the thing is, the dribble runs, the one on the clip will show you the one that worked. They won't show you the dribble runs where he lost the ball, the dribble runs where he ran into a blind alley, the dribble runs where he fired the ball into Rosette. They won't show you that one. What somebody posted a goal that he scored against Arsenal, and they were like, "Oh, Arsenal fans will never recover from this." And I was like, "Okay, that was a fantastic goal. Yeah, he ran past 3 players and scored." But apart from that, what did he do to? I mean, how many games did he determine for Chelsea in big games? How many games did you say, okay, to be honest, when Liverpool play Chelsea, we used to be scared of Hazard. But then at the end of the day, you now look at it like, okay, how many goals did he actually score against Liverpool? How many assists did he provide? He was a threat. He will be somebody who will carry the ball and you'll be like, oh God, he's going to run and dribble all of us. But how many of those runs lead to a goal? So that's why I'll bring in Prince AY. Like, what's your view? Because when I saw that clip of that goal he scored against Arsenal, I was like, yeah, okay, he scored that great goal, but how many times did he do that against Arsenal? It was just once. So why are people shouting as if, oh, this guy is the best player ever? What do you think, Prince AY?
First of all, Francis Coquelin's head is not correct. I know. Why would we allow to just run like that? For me, I actually have a different view. I was, my initial chain of thought when I sent that people like Hazard top 10 line and when this Pires there, this Bergkamp, this Ronaldo, like he can't be there. But me now, sometimes you have to go through the rabbit hole. I'm like, let me actually look deep into this. And then I started digging on the stats, your appearances, goal assists, contribution, dribble, chances created, all of that, right? And then when you just look at it in isolation and you look at just, because for me, I was just looking at just EPL alone. I didn't factor Champions League and every other, international or anything like that. But for the 7 years that it was in Chelsea, it was a menace. I mean, that I can say that much. I guess when I stack up the stats and everything, I'm like, damn, this guy is actually really there. But sometimes, when you throw in bias into the conversation, you tend to overlook some things. But when I compare everything, I'm like, wow, like Hazard is actually really there. Because for me, I was like, nah, no way, And that puts him, when I did all my stats of comparison and everything, that puts him as the second best winger ever in EPL. I know some people will be like, wait, what? How? But then when you look at it in isolation and you look at, put all this, now, like in the last 10 years, football has now gotten to the point whereby everything is now literally stat driven, like how you breathe, how fast are you running, how slow are you running, how many blades of grass did you pluck on the way when you're running and everything. And then when you combine all of those together, you realize that, oh shoot, even though this guy, there's some things that are going against him, he is actually putting the numbers there in his, his progressive carries, his threat, his XGs, and all of that. So for me, I do rate Saya really highly. However, I think his lack of discipline, his lack of motivation, his lack of professionalism came back to bite him when he went to Madrid. Because Daya said, yeah, Madrid is not. They don't mess around. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow, right? And then looking at the number, he only played just 54 games, like literally 54 games in his entire time in Madrid. That is not. That's the amount of games that Salah plays in one season. So you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
So, but for me, just looking at it in isolation, just the amount of time he spent in EPL, removing all of the shenanigans he did before from Lille and everything, I do rate him highly. But now, when you now involve every other thing else, his Champions League performance, his national team performance, when he moved to Madrid, that just changes the whole conversation entirely for me. So so for me, Hazard is basically like a tale of two halves for me, right? If you look at it in isolation for EPL alone, you'd be like, yeah, it ranks really high. But when you put in every other thing there, you'd be struggling to put him in top 10. So that's just for me with the Hazard conversation.
Okay, with the EPL thing, okay, let's take the fact that because that statistics that you mentioned about Champions League blew my mind. Like only 9 goals and only 4 were open play. Like seriously, that's really bad. But let's remove that. Let's just focus on EPL. I'm looking at the stats. Okay, I know you've talked about progressive dribbles, XG. The thing with all of those things is, yeah, it's good to look at those too. But I still feel the biggest impact would be goal contributions, because he was Chelsea's most attacking player in the final third. He was like their most creative player. And if you're not justifying that with raw numbers of goals and assists, so I'm looking at his first season, 6 goals and 9 goals in 34 games. Second season, 14 goals in 35 games. Third season, 14 goals. Fourth season, 4 goals in 31 games. The next season, 16 goals in 36 games. Next, 12 in 34, 16 in 37. When you say he's the second best winger in the Premier League era, I can count at least 4 or 5 wingers who scored double the number of goals he scored and assists. Now we can say his XG was great, his progressive dribbles were great, but like Dayo says, that's not what's going to put points on the table for all this. For the big teams now, you have to score. You have to score and assist more. Look at Saka. Saka, how good he is. People are just saying they want more from him. They want him to be scoring 30 goals a season. And Saka is already approaching world-class level. But people are saying, oh, he's not scoring 30 goals a season, so it's not good enough. But that's the level you have to be considered one of the top wingers. You can't be scoring 14 goals every season and be saying you're top class. I just don't feel I'll put him top 2. No, I can't put him top 2. That's even disregarding his Champions League terrible record and the record in national team. In EPL level, I just don't think he's top 2. I think we get excited by the dribbles, by the fact that he's a threat. He is always a threat. It's true. When he carries the ball, you cannot get it off him. Sometimes you have to foul him. It's true. But in football, that's not especially in big clubs, that won't get you that far again. All this threat. You have to be somebody who's going to be getting goals. Sorry, let me just take a comment. And please say why you can respond to that while I'm putting a comment on screen.
I mean, when you, like I said, if you're looking at it in isolation, right? For me, I think there is more to just scoring goals and providing assists. I know that sometimes, we football fans, that's the main statistics that we look at, right? That's the main focus. How much goals are you scoring? How much assists are you providing? But for me, I think in the modern game, it's actually it's more than that. It's more than how many goals are you scoring, how many assists are you providing. Like if it's even until recently that I even found out that there's something called field tilt. And then when you're looking at that, like, what the hell is field tilt? Like, just play the game, So for me, there's so many metrics that you can look at a footballer. I'll give you a classic case now. This is going to be very controversial now. Kai Havertz, right? Everybody's saying, this guy is rubbish. This guy is rubbish. Like, what is he doing? He's not scoring. He's not assisting. But when you look at the numbers that he's actually doing, maybe it's a hold up play, or is what's this thing called? His defensive numbers, the amount of time he's breaking up plays. He's doing every other thing right. But the fact that he's not scoring or assisting now makes everything look as if he's not even doing anything. Right. So I think that sometimes we can be clouded with the fact that we're looking at the player by just his numbers of goals and numbers of assists. There are very few players in this world that can do that on a consistent basis. Very, very few. The number of players that can produce goals and assists on a consistent basis, they are very few.
That's why they're elite. That's why they call them elite.
So
that's why they call them elite. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I mean, your opinion is also valid. It's your opinion anyway, so it's also valid. Let's take some comments from Henry. Thank you, Henry, for popping on today. Henry says facts, intangibles. He says, I believe. Let me put that on the screen. He says, I believe it's because that's his primary responsibility. I think he's talking about goals and assists. That's what's happened there. Let me put Henry's comment on the screen there. So he says he believes that's his primary responsibility. To provide goals and assists. Metrics are good. Like, you can see somebody's impact with metrics, but like you said yourself, goal contributions are like people that do that consistently. That's why there are not many. That's why the people give them acclaim. If you're doing, we wrap up this session. I just overall, I just feel overall, I think his career could have gone better. I think his career could have gone better if he had more drive, more motivation. But at the end of the day, we have to give him props. I hope he enjoys his retirement, and I hope all goes well for him. So let's go to our final topic of the day. Final topic of the day. I'm going to have Itata. You're going to help us to dissect this deal between the Glazers and the Ratcliffes. Is it a good deal or is it a bad deal? Because we know that the Qatar man was really interested, wanted to pay, I don't know, £8 billion or whatever it was. But at the end of the day, they didn't go with the Qatar man. And is it Qatar? Yeah, I think it's from Qatar. Yeah. Qatar. The Sheikh from Qatar.
Yeah.
They didn't go with him. They went with Ratcliffe. Is that good? Is that bad? Please enlighten.
Well, I would say this. I would say the majority of Manchester United fans just don't want to have anything to do with the Glazer family. Am I in that majority? Absolutely. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I don't like them at all. I'm not looking at numbers or anything like that. And I speak for the majority of the fans. Now, is this hopeless hope? This Sheikh, we love him. I've never heard him speak. We just love him because of the intention to acquire 100%. 100% means not even the Glazer family shadow will be on Old Trafford. And that's what we all wanted. Oh, he's gone. Well, I'll continue until he comes back. And it was a dream for all Manchester United fans, 100% ownership, that stuff of dreams. Let's make it happen. But at the same time, you have to understand, this Manchester United, it's a global brand. It is a pot I would probably call generational wealth. Manchester United, love, hate, it will always be relevant. It will always produce money. And for a family to stumble on something like that and give it up, I think it's going to be hard. When the news initially broke about a year ago that the the Glazer family are trying to sell. I'm like, I couldn't just see that happening. Now, the Sheikh wanted 100% ownership, has always pushed for that. By the math, Manchester United are valued at, I think, 3.5 billion pounds. And allegedly, the Sheikh was willing to offer close to double that amount. Close to double that amount, we can put any figure from 6 billion pounds to probably close to 7 billion. I would say anything 6 plus, or 6 being the least. If you're trying to say it's almost double the original valuation, which is 3.5 billion. Now, I heard Ratcliffe originally came with 50% ownership. I think it was bid down. That wasn't accepted. And I think he brought it down to something else, and now it's 25%. Now, my understanding is this 25% is only influencing the football aspect of Manchester United, because, like some people call us Disneyland. We assume commercial that the football is almost negligible. So essentially what Radcliffe is going to do with his 25% is to just take in charge, for it to be solely in charge of the football aspect of it. Theoretically, and just listening to it, it sounds good. Apparently, that is also going to build towards getting 100% ownership after a set number of years. We don't truly understand how that's going to play out, but essentially the 25% in the first place has to be approved by the board. They're supposed to meet in a couple of days. So the whole thing is frustrating. It's frustrating in the sense that all Manchester United fans wanted 100% ownership. Maybe it's stuff of dreams. Would it ever happen? We don't know. Radcliffe also, there is this question of trust. United fans literally look at him like, majority again, because there are some United fans that are happy with the Radcliffe deal. But essentially, it's they're looking at him like sort of like the devil. You're still trying to keep the Glazers here with the 25%. But in my opinion, just to sit back, it is, if we're trying to get rid of the Glazers and they have this generational wealth, it's going to take time. What they're not prepared to do is let the 100% go just like that. And some people say if the Qataris met the 100% valuation, they would have sold it. I actually don't think that would have ever been possible, to be honest with you. I think the Glazers were playing this game to where if the Qataris met the 100%, they probably would have come up with something to push it further and say, you know what, we thought it is worth 7 billion pounds. I think it will be worth 10 billion in 2 years. And because we can project to see it will be worth 10 billion, let's get it now. So I think it would have still been this frustration with with trying to get the negotiations right. Radcliffe getting 25% with projected full ownership in a couple of years is a good place to start. Do I trust Radcliffe? No, not really, because I don't know what. I can't really say, again, I'm speaking for a certain section of the fans. I don't speak for all Manchester United fans. I don't know if Glazers, because what the fans really want is a U-turn with the football. We all understand if there's success on the field, we'll get the commercial success. Manchester United does not need to stretch to get commercial success. We just need a little bit of push on green grass. I think the commercial side, things will take care of itself. But the Glazers are overly focused on the commercial side, just banking on the shelf life that Manchester United has had over the years that sustains the football side. So they're like, even if we can get the bare minimum level of success, we can ride with the football and push for the commercial side. So my understanding is Radcliffe is coming to say, you know what, this 25%, which is about 1.8 billion pounds, this 25% is only solely going to be focused on football. So the men's and women's team, everything that has to do with football. The Glazers are still going to be the final say on some of the decisions, but apparently this is supposed to only influence the aspect of football, which is good news. But again, we don't really know we don't know exactly the intentions of Ratcliffe. And people are drawing parallels to the Nice club, which has not really been successful. I think right now they're second in the league, in the French league. But that's something that just happened. You know, historically, with his ownership with Nice hasn't been the best story. I know the fans were so upset, and they were even thinking, you know, I heard there were a couple of times they had to the Nice fans had to push back on this Ratcliffe guy. So we don't know. We don't know. His intentions may be good. It may be bad. It may turn out to be a good thing or bad thing, but we don't know. We just don't know. Do we? Majority of the fans don't trust Ratcliffe. It's there. We are saying it is not enough to just be someone who was born a few blocks from Old Trafford. You know, it's not enough. We just want the United fans literally want a separation from the Glazer family. They don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, some people have not excelled to say, you know what, let's really dive down and see what is going to happen. People just want, the United fans don't want to have anything to do with the Glazer family. Period. You know, just because of, we've seen 17 years, what it has been for 17 years. The earlier part of the 17 years was masked by Sir Alex Ferguson. And we all know he was a great manager and he could squeeze out juice from a rock. But Ferguson is not there again. Jill is not there again. So the football side of Manchester United has been exposed over the years. And everyone accepts, okay, when you do the root cause analysis, it still ends with the Glazers. That's why United fans we want this separation at all costs. But will the 25%, theoretically, it looks like something that is going to be good for the club, but it has to, the realization has to come. We have to see the 25% after a season, 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons, and then see maybe by the 3rd season it's going to have 30%, 40%. We don't know. Theoretically, it looks good, but it has to come to realization before we can align with it. I'm not aligning with it, but let's see what comes out of it eventually.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for the well-rounded discussion on that. For me personally, I saw something I posted today. Even the Glazers themselves are not united. The family itself,
yeah,
they are not singing from the same hymn sheet. They're not all looking in the same direction. Different members of that family want different things. So that's not helping. That's not helping when the family itself are not even united in what they want to do with Manchester United. So for me, I usually have sympathy with this because I know what Liverpool went through before we got our current owners. I know how bad owners can be, and people will say, "Oh yeah, they spent money." It's true. Glazers' money has been spent, but a lot of it was also debt. It was not money that was their own pockets. From their own pocket, they were loading money onto the club account. So, and they're still taking money out of Man United. So I understand. You know, of course, I'll make fun of it.
It's painful. It's painful.
Yeah, I understand. It's true. Money has been spent with United. Yeah, some of that money has been wasted. But Glazers basically are vampires. They're just sucking life out of the club. So I understand it, and that's why I'm not sure. It would have been better if they just sold the club. I don't understand this part investment of selling some shares to somebody. Just sell the club and go.
But it is because Manchester United will always find a way to make money. They understand that aspect of things.
Yeah.
And it's trust me, if I own Man United, would I let go of it like that? I don't think so.
True.
I don't think so. So I can see from I can see from their side of things, but this is all I'm asking. It's almost, I draw parallels with corrupt leaders in Africa, right? In Nigeria, for instance. I'm not saying get in office and don't steal money, but I'm saying steal money, build roads, build hospitals, build infrastructures, create job opportunities, and go back and steal money again and come back. Build
Disclaimer. Yeah. We are not condoning corruption on this podcast.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, we are not condoning, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, just do these things, because the thing is, I don't think there is any government in the world that is absolutely clean. But the thing is, if you provide these things for your citizens, it gets to a point they don't pay attention to what you're doing. That's what the Glazers don't understand. Get the football right. Get Manchester United winning. Nobody is going to care if you're taking out dividends.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
True. Yeah, well, we have our fan, Prince AY's fan is online asking you, Prince AY, is that you? Please, Prince AY, confirm if this is you. So I'll go make an arrest.
This is me. I was just going to ask one quick question here. Do you think that this deal can make the Glazers change? Because think about it, the same thing almost happened with Arsenal, right? When this Daniel Elk guy wanted to buy Arsenal, and that time, you know, the Kroenkes were not fully 100%. They haven't acquired 100% ownership and all of that. And then when that 100% ownership happened, now, you know, they started moving like a complete turnaround. And then it was this guy, Stan, just completely relinquished the relinquish control to his son Josh, and then just turn everything all around with regarding how the football club is being run. You know, Arsenal making signings, was spending 100 million on a player. Like in my 20 years, I like Arsenal 100. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that, do you think that maybe in some way, shape, or form this merger with this Mr. Radcliffe would in any way, you know, make the Glazers change, or you think that they're just like, you know what, we're just going to focus on money and, you know, them the consequences?
No, they're not going to change, because since I was born, the color green has remained the color green until this day.
On the money.
Yeah, they're venture capitalists, and that's where their mind is. I'm not saying they shouldn't be what they are, but the thing is, the only hope I have is this 25% is supposed to be engulfing the football side of things. And the fans are only concerned with the football. We don't care if McLean's is going to be our next sponsor or NASCO. We don't care about that. You understand? We just want United to challenge for the title, qualify for the Champions League, maybe eventually win the EPL. If all that goes on, because the Glazers were around when Sir Alex was here, you know, the pushback wasn't this pronounced. Sir Alex, who had his own influence over football and we were successful, nobody really talked about nobody really talked about the Glazers as much. It was talked about, it wasn't that intense back in the day where we were still winning, like the major trophies. But the Glazers, they've always been the same. They're still going to be taking out dividends. They're going to focus on making money. They're going to want everybody on earth, from Maggie Cube, the makers of Maggie Cube, to be our sponsors. They want all the sponsors in the world. They might even ask Allah to be a sponsor. Please come and sponsor money. That's all they care. They're trying to get all the money everywhere.
But you want me to sponsor Maggie?
So yeah, they're not going to change, but the only hope is maybe Radcliffe focusing on football may just get us out of some of this mess, but it's going to remain the same relatively until they decide to leave, which I don't think is going to be anytime soon.
Okay, well, let's start wrapping up.
Never ever put the Kroenkes and Glazers in the same statement. They are not the same. I don't know. The only thing they share is that that blue passport, but their mentality towards sports is not the same. The Kroenkes, they're the owners of Denver Nuggets, right? They're NBA champions. So they actually are invested in success. The Kroenkes were ready to buy Caicedo for Arsenal in January. That's the kind of owners they are. So they're not as bad, right?
Yeah, but the
Glazers want to give us Weghorst in the summer. Those are two different languages. Caicedo in January, Weghorst in the summer. Yeah,
let me come in there. No, you can't say that the Glazers have spent money. They release money. It's just that the money is not their own. And when you say Glazers and Kroenkes are not the same, are Kroenkes not venture capitalists too? Prince AY, can you answer that? Are they venture capitalists? Kroenkes?
To be honest, I'm I'm not even sure, but the only thing I would say is that at least to a degree of to some certain degree, they actually invested in success, right? Because
Okay.
the amount of money that the guy pumped in LA Rams, don't get the Denver Nuggets, his hockey team, is which are, like all his teams is literally pushing them to success in a certain way. That's why even most Arsenal fans will say, you know what, maybe it's our turn this time around. Because all of his teams have won something, right?
Mm.
And it's just remaining the Arsenal that hasn't won anything in a while. So, and literally took the same approach that for every of his, fired everybody, started everything from, grassroots, and then rebuild the whole team, all of his team, and they have young managers, spent money. So I think that's the only thing I would say that might have been different. But at the same time, too, you cannot also not say that the Glazers haven't spent money. It's just that it just has been wasted.
Yeah,
Right? It has
exactly.
been wasted. So
You know what?
So,
Oga Kwame
let,
has a huge
let,
point
let,
here.
let me quickly take comments. Let me take comments because comments are piling up. So Oga Kwame, after sending this love message to Prince AY, says Yamanika is out of town. That if
oh,
it is
no, don't mind it. The last time that he was the host, he just kept me waiting for almost.
saying for not enter this podcast, will I? Okay, but then he went on to
when
some serious matters.
when you offend your father and your father just locks you outside and say you will stay there today. Nothing.
Don't
Anyway,
mind
let's
that
move on.
Kwame, don't mind him at all. Okay, so then he went on to say he doesn't know if we have spoken about this yet. He says Yassim's withdrawal from buying United might be connected to the Israel-Hamas war. He said the Glazers are a Jewish family, remember? Okay, that's an interesting take.
Yeah,
That's why they say politics and football conflate sometimes,
Yeah, but I can also go ahead and say if Jassim gives this Glazer family 9 billion, they will forget about Israel Hamas war.
Exactly. Money
So
talks at the end of
I
the
don't.
day.
That's all this. The Glazer family understand one language. It's not English. It's not Spanish. It's not Yoruba. It's money. That's the
Yeah.
language they understand.
Give them enough money, they'll forget that they are Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oga Kwame says there are reports that some Hamas leaders live in Qatar. Just rumors, okay? So we're just stressing, those are rumors. Ayo is coming on to talk about he thinks that Ratcliffe taking control will be a good thing for Man United.
Yeah,
So that's an
that's what
interesting
I'm
take. He
saying.
has more comments. He said the Glazers won the Super Bowl with Buccaneers, and that is true. That he agrees with you that Itata, you're right in some sense. Glazers' business model is different. They see United as a debt revolving facility. Okay, that's some
I'm
good
just looking.
insights.
I'm just looking at the mentality. Arsenal were pushing Chelsea to the brink. The Kroenke family were ready to give Arsenal Caicedo. The Glazer family wanted to give us Weghorst. That is the summary of it.
Let me come in there. Do you know why I want to dispute? I'm not disputing that you guys couldn't spend money, but there's a reason behind why United couldn't spend too much this time around. It's because of financial fair play. Financial fair play restricted the amount of money Ten Hag is having access to. You have to generate money from sales of players. So that's why they were giving you work costs. Right? That's why you couldn't get. That's why you had to bring in this guy on loan. What's his name? Amrabat. Because you guys are at risk of running foul of financial fair play.
Yeah, but as a result of it's over the years. That's what I'm saying. It's a habit that has built over the years, and we've gotten to this place. We didn't get here overnight.
Oh no, they have to take blame for that. They have to take blame for that. I'm just saying that it's not that they didn't want to spend this year. It's just they couldn't spend because if they do, you guys will violate financial fair play. That's the problem because they spent stupidly and recklessly before. So and now it's affecting your impact to spend going ahead. Let me take comments from Henry. Henry is just saying all of us will be all right. last, everybody will jump breakfast. That's Arsenal. I think Henry is an Arsenal fan, so of course he's enjoying this. He's enjoying this Man United pain. Ogakwame, well, I don't know why Ogakwame is very antagonistic to Ayo. Say Ayo is smoking weed. I don't know why. But Ayo says the Glazers use the United assets to get more credit facility for their failing shopping mall business. That's a good insight. This is the kind of thing I like to hear. I like to to see insight into why are they doing what they are doing. It's true that okay, they are doing bad for United, but why? And this is what I want to see, the comments of, okay, why are they doing it? It's not that they just want to wreck United because they have beef with Man United, but why are they doing what they're doing? So he's saying they're using United to get more credit facility for the trading, shopping mall, more business. Okay, that's good insight. I think we can start wrapping up here now. I think we've gone over an hour and we've had some interruptions up NEPA. But thankfully, we made it to the end. We made it to the end, and I think Dayo is gone. But I am so happy that all of us got to have this discussion. Prince I thank you for making it. And
before we go, what about our donkeys and kudos?
Oh, we've removed that because we were thinking we were going to talk too much about all this other stuff. So sorry. I'm sorry. We have to remove that. I also be there for 2 hours.
Just mention it briefly. 2 seconds.
No.
But meanwhile, it's good to see you finally see you, Prince AY. You are so popular because of Oga Kwame. I'm like, who is this Prince AY? We can be talking about the economic situation of Peru. Oga Kwame is after Prince AY. It's good to finally see you.
Great
we have a very interesting relationship. Let's just be like that.
It's a very good show and very good lineup of guests. I absolutely agree. I like the differing opinions. This is one of the interesting things about the podcast, that people come in with the different opinions.
Yeah.
And interesting opinions, because some people can say nonsense as their opinion, but all the opinions here were valid, had facts, statistics backing them up, and logic. So yeah, thanks guys for coming on tonight. Well, it's night here. I know it's morning over there for you guys, but anyway.
And thanks for being a great host too.
Thank you.
Before we end it, I just have something. Ola, you're on top of your bills. I don't like the fact that you have to go to the washroom, the kitchen, just to catch it.
We have all agreed that he has a special router that has a pole outside. We have to adjust that pole.
I have friends in Nigeria that can send you fluorescent and copper wire. Anyways, nice chat.
Yes, no problem. Thank you, Daya. Thank you, Tata. Thank you, President. We've wrapped up, and give us a like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back next week.
And let's all pray for Super Eagles with this kind of goalkeeper.
No problem. We will.
All right, guys.
All right. Bye. Yeah.